Black and white photos get the pop art treatment with a shot of color and a little 3D action.
Hi, I'm Shahnaz LaCaze, and today on Get Framed,
I'll show amateur photographer Brianna Ryan some tips from the framing pros, like photo painting and pedestal building. They're gonna take her photography from flat to fabulous. Are these cats real or art? Even the resident feline isn't sure.
black and white photos lend a simple sophistication to any display. But let's face it, they're flat.
Today, we're gonna show you how to punch up photos and create an eye-popping 3D display. Let's take a look at Brianna's project.
So I got the photos that you sent to me on the computer and I printed them out. These are so great.
Thank you.
Who are these guys?
This one is Noelle, and I've had her for about 10 years.
Okay.
And these guys belong to my friend Molly, and that's Thelma, and that's Louise.
Nice.
And that's my little Henry Bear. I've had him for about 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Brianna and I chose 3 images that look great together. A kitty vignette, so to speak.
I know you love black and white. Just to pop them out a little bit, I was thinking about hand coloring them.
Hand coloring, how do you do that?
I'll show you that later. Another idea was to make them like 3D images.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen that done before.
Okay, so you like that?
Totally, I'd love to see how that looks. I've never seen that before.
Very cool.
All we need for this project are several copies of the photograph printed on photo paper, a photo paint kit, a palette, a blade, a ready-made frame, and a work surface covered with cardboard or butcher paper. You can also find this list of materials on our website, DIYnetwork.com.
So this is a shadow box.
Okay.
Let me take it apart for you, and you can help me on that. So I just turn these buttons. Yeah, that one right there. And then I'm just gonna pop this out. So this is the back.
Okay.
And then this little thing right here is called a spacer. It's gonna determine how high we can go with the 3D image when we pop it out. These are photo oils, and the kit comes with pretty much everything you need. The photo oils, the PM solution. We're just gonna put a little bit of paint on here because a little bit will go a long way.
That color looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really neat.
I'm so curious how this is gonna look on the pictures.
And this extender, and what this does is it thins out the paint.
The extender will make the paints look more like a wash or a tint.
So now we're gonna prepare the images. And the way we do that is we use the PM solution. And what this does is it coats the paper so the paint goes on smooth.
Okay.
And the paper absorbs it better.
All right. So when you're doing this, do you, when you're painting, do you know what you want to do in terms of like, do you just paint on the shadows or on the lighter parts? How does that work? You
know what, it really depends on the image, just because your cats were kind of the main subject. And you don't ever want to do the whole image, just kind of pick certain parts of it.
Right.
If you want to check if you've coated the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. It looks like a negative on the back.
Right. Now to actually apply the color, just add a little bit of red to your cotton swab. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. And then in a circular motion, just like we were doing the PM solution, you're gonna add the paint.
Okay, where am I gonna put it?
You can start in the middle and just go around.
Am I just rubbing it over the whole entire thing, or do I need to just stay within like...
You do have to stay within the lines. And you see it goes a little bit thicker on, so you want to smooth that out. Yeah, and then just spread it to the other areas that aren't applied yet. You're a pro already.
It's like a coloring book.
Yeah. All right, so while you do yours, I'm going to work on mine, but I'll keep an eye on you. Have you painted before?
No, probably not since I was in elementary school. Ta-da!
That is so great.
You finished my first piece.
That's awesome. You did a great job.
That looks really awesome too.
Thank you.
What next?
All right, well, let's do another color. I'm actually not going to do the eyes on Noelle, and I'm not going to do the nose.
Okay. Why? What's the reason?
Well, the reason for that is you just kind of want to pop certain parts of the image.
Oh, okay.
You don't really want to make Noelle totally green.
If we want to color larger areas, we can use the cotton ball instead of a swab.
So we're not actually done yet.
Okay.
Of course, we have to do Henry.
Yes.
And you actually have to do another copy of Louise.
All right.
And the reason for that is anytime you cut something out to make 3D, you need 2 copies.
Okay.
One is going to be the focal point, and the other one is going to be the shadow.
All right.
So that's for you.
And then I just color Louise the same as I did before.
Right, right. Just because the shadow doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be darker or lighter.
Okay. Aw, look at my Henry. He looks so sweet.
He looks mad at me.
Yeah. Don't paint my
That
face.
red face. And Henry's red because when we display them in a group, red's gonna be in every single one of them.
Oh, so there'll be like this a through line.
Yeah.
Once we've colored everything in, we'll set the photos aside to dry.
The directions say that you have to allow 24 hours for it to dry. But really, as long as you're careful not to touch the image or smear it in any way, you know, they're really workable immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to wait the 24 hours.
Now that they've been colored, our feline friends are going to get some depth as Brianna and I turn them into 3D masterpieces. And then watch as a simple swatch of fabric takes our pictures from funky wall art to true conversation pieces. If you have some black and white photos, we can make them pop with a little color and bring them to life. I'm talking 3D. The trick to making photos 3D is a pedestal, and that is just cutting and pasting pieces of foam core.
We're gonna cut out these images.
Okay.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the base photos.
Okay.
So we have this one, and then the one of Thelma and Louise. So if you want to trade that one out. Okay.
Look, it matches.
And you just take your straight edge and you line it up with the edge of the photo, like that. And just gonna cut the white off right now. You should always start out with a new blade. The last thing you want to do is be cutting and get frayed edges. So.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to cut our layers.
Okay.
And just to show you what we're going to do, we're going to cut out this face right here, and we're going to build a little pedestal so you'll be able to see the popped up image of the face and then the background.
Great.
So all we're doing right now is just the face.
Okay, and it's just the 2 layers, right?
Right.
Okay. So why are you popping the closest parts of the picture?
Well, when you look at a 3D image, the closest thing is what is popped out first.
Okay.
Make sure that your hand is not in the cut line of your blade. We don't want any
No chopped
fingers
fingers.
missing. No.
That wouldn't be fun.
Now what we're going to do is cut out our pedestals.
Okay.
The pieces of foam core that we're going to cut out in the same shape to build up the 3D image.
And how do you know how many to cut out?
Good question. That's what the spacer's for. We'll use this as a guide to see how high we can go.
Right.
I picked up 1/8 inch foam core for these cats, but they also come in 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch thicknesses. I'm using this size because it's easier to work with and less expensive.
Now what you want to make sure to do is always use a light colored pencil when you're tracing the image on black foam core, and it's just so it can show up.
Okay.
If the images are lighter, use white foam core. The key is to match the background so the pedestal disappears.
So now we're going to actually be cutting a few of these.
Okay.
And we're going to be cutting a 1/4 inch in from the line that we just drew. And that's so when you're looking at it straight on, you don't see the foam core.
Okay.
And it's okay that it doesn't go all the way through the first time. There's some thickness to it, so it's
Just make the outline basically first?
yeah.
Okay.
It's going to take like a couple of passes to get a clear cut.
Ta-da! Aw, looks like a cat.
There you go.
Hey. Got it.
Of course, I gave you the hardest one.
That's all right. Need the practice. Okay.
So these are our masters, so we'll go ahead and trace these out.
Okay, and do we have to cut these in a 1/4 inch?
No, we're just going to stack these to make the pedestals. So since these are already of a quarter of the way inch in, we'll just trace these and cut them as is.
Okay.
Okay, so we cut out our pieces out of foam core.
Great.
And now we're gonna put them together. And we're gonna use double stick tape for that. And you can buy this at any art store.
Okay.
Just do about 2 strips.
2 strips.
Side, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
Do one more.
Just keep doing them on all of them? Okay.
We could use industrial adhesives, but for the do-it-yourselfer, double stick tape and white glue work just fine.
How much should I use?
Just 3, 4 dots is fine.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
And make sure they're lining up. Perfect. Okay, good. And one more.
One more, okay.
Good. And this is the last one. And
All
you can
right.
really press down on it. Yeah.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's great. So our pedestal's done.
Fantastic.
Okay. Before we attach anything, we're going to use our backboard and our spacer to check that everything fits.
Okay.
So we attach our base image and we put our spacer down and we grab our pedestal and our face cutout and we line it up. Okay, and I already see that we're going to have to trim off
Right.
here where their spacer lies
Okay.
down. So we'll get our Henry's face and we line up the outside edge and we take our white pencil and we trace on the inside.
Okay.
We're using our straight edge and blade to evenly trim the image to size.
Make sure that the foam core is not showing, which is not,
Oh, good.
and there it fits right in.
Oh, wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah. So now we know that everything fits, and then we can glue that down.
That looks so cool with his whiskers,
Yeah, the whiskers.
sticking out on the bottom.
Okay. You can go ahead and glue the face onto the pedestal.
Okay.
And you can use the double stick tape and the glue, just like we've been doing.
All right.
And just make sure when you glue it down to look directly on top of it so you can't see the pedestal from
Okay.
either side. And while you do that, I'm gonna glue the base to the backboard.
Okay, great.
Now when you're attaching this part, go ahead and hold this down. And you can hold it with one hand, and then when you drop that image in, just make sure it lines up with this edge and the top edge.
And the top edge,
Yeah.
how we did it before.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we've already measured it out, so it should fit perfectly.
Grab it here.
Yeah.
Then you can just slide it right up in there.
Yep.
Is that good?
That looks awesome.
That does look really cool.
So everything's coming together, so now we're just gonna put it all in the frame.
Great. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Next up, we'll put the kitties all together using some funky feline fabric as the finishing touch. These cats are gonna look really good from all sides. Stick around.